Hi guys, my name is Kuru, and today we're going to be covering the most important skill to learn as an undergraduate, in my opinion. So, as we know, a common stereotype when you think of university students is the fact that they're always struggling in work. And although this is classified as a stereotype, it is true to some extent. And this is because of cramming. And what ends up happening is students will procrastinate their work and will leave it till last minute, and this leads to cramming, which basically doesn't allow you to work at the level that you normally would, and you tend to rush things. And this will lead to bad grades, which will eventually lead to mental health issues. So we have to find ways to mitigate this, and we're going to be talking about that throughout this presentation. So how do you mitigate the problem? So what is the thing I'm going to be talking about? So I'm going to be talking about time management, and I do believe that a lot of the students do face work problems because of the lack of time management. So if you can get something fundamental down like time management, we could properly plan when and how we should do the assignment. So in a lot of the cases, time is not like we don't have less time. I mean, we do have the right amount of time, and time can be found for leisure activities and having fun. Students run out of time and often have to cram because of the lack of organization in the work schedule. And this is basically because students are leaving like all of their assignments for last minute, and they're leaving this entire space where they could have worked the problems out and done smaller stuff to last minute. And this is causing great strain on their heads, and it's really bad for their mental health. So if the assignments are done in a correct order, then a plethora of time can be acquired. So we're going to be going over how you could space your assignment out during the time period you have, and basically you're going to end up doing smaller tasks every day instead of one whole task the entire day. So by doing this, you're going to be saving more time, and it's going to be easier on your brain. So when faced with an assignment, take note of the due date. So your due date is really important. It lets you know how long you can have your time period. So like, when is your time period start and when does your time period end? And the most important thing I would say is to familiarize yourself with the topic. So once you read the outline, you basically know what it's about. So you know the due date, you know the outline, and through these two pieces of information, you could basically gauge when and how you should plan out your assignment. And through understanding the difficulty of the assignment, you could kind of designate blocks and make them harder or easier in terms of time. So time blocks. So based on the requirements, plan how much of the assignment you should complete during each planned time frame leading up to deadline. So that just goes back to my point of saying that, like, once you understand the course outline, I mean not the course outline, but the outline, and you understand when it's due, you can break the assignment up into its bits and pieces and complete it as shorter problems instead of one whole large one. So smaller tasks over an extended period of time are actually more beneficial than doing bigger tasks over a shorter amount of time, as you get to easily see errors. And because you're spending more time on in depth into each and every crevice of the assignment, it's way easier to catch errors, which usually just go unnoticed when you do things last minute. So by doing smaller tasks, you're going easier on yourself, on your brain, and you're also removing a lot of the stress, as you know what's going to happen the next day, and you know that if you just leave the assignment, leave the assignment the way it is, you're fine for the next day because you have a plan. So basically, having a plan that assures you that everything's going to be okay, and it's better for your mental health, and you'll end up spending less time on work, because by doing smaller tasks, you're spending less time, and you'll have more time to hang out with your friends stress-free. So a really important thing to keep in note is you can't keep this in your head. So this is a complex kind of planning, and there's no way you can memorize this. So it's really important you have ways to write this down and plan it out. So you could use an agenda, which you can find from Walmart or Dollarama, whatever's closer to you. You can use your e-calendar, like Google Calendar. You could use a calendar, like a physical piece of paper, or you could use a blank sheet of paper to plan what you're gonna do each day, how you're gonna do it, and when will you do it. So review the content of the assignment, find out the due date, break the assignment up over the period between start to finish, and write it down. So I summarized the steps into 4 different steps, and these are basically steps that you're gonna need to follow in order to have proper time management. So following these steps will only benefiting you. Having time management is only a positive. There's no way it can harm you, so might as well adopt it. So time is everywhere. You just have to find it. That's the moral of the story. The end.